Hey everybody, how's it going? HollywoodPizza here, and we got some really awesome content for you today. First off, I want to give a big thank you to Wizards of the Coast for giving me an opportunity to play in the Early Access Event. That's right, we've got a ton of new content for you from Brothers War, and the cards aren't even out yet, and it's pretty cool to actually be able to play in the event. We have a ton of really cool decks to actually show you here in the next few days. We're going to start off here with Boros Prowess, hyper-aggressive beatdown deck. As you can tell, we have a ton of one drops, so let's go ahead and dive right into the deck list here. We're gonna essentially start our game plan. What we're really trying to do is start off with either a Monastery Swiftspear or a Kumano faces Kagazan. So Monastery Swiftspear, 1 red for a 1/2 haste prowess. Prowess is whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this card gets +1/+1 until on a turn. Kumano's is 1 red for a Saga. When it comes into play, the first chapter is going to be 1 damage to each opponent and planeswalker they control, and then second part is when you recast your next creature spell, that creature comes in with a +1/+1 counter. And the third chapter, it actually ends up getting exiled and coming back as a 2/2 creature with haste with whenever a creature dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, it gets exiled instead. All the abilities on this are actually pretty relevant. And on top of that, both of these cards actually kind of play off each other, where you can play a Kumanos on turn 1, Swiftspear on turn 2, kind of have it come down as a 2/3, or you can play your Swiftspear on turn 1 and then play a Kumanos and still have your 2/3 Swiftspear and get your prowess off of it as well. So lots of really good value from both of these 1-drops to kind of start the game off and start dealing very consistent damage sources. For our spells here, actually in the 1-drop slot, we actually have quite a few. We have 4 Homestead Courage, 4 Ancestral Anger, 4 Lauren's Escape, and 2 Allenbach Escort, which is actually a creature, to help protect our cards. So let's go ahead and start off with the Allenbach Escort. 1 white for a 1/1 Vigilance. You can sacrifice it to give a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, lifelink and indestructible. Just a really strong card, very reminiscent of like a Selfless Slaver, where you can use it to kind of just back up your cards and give them enough protection to smash through, and the lifelink is definitely something not to be overlooked. On top of that, the card even has Vigilance. It kind of just does a lot of things for 1 mana. For our spells here, we actually have the Homestead Courages to start off with. 1 white sorcery. You get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature control, and then it gains Vigilance until on a turn. For a white, you can just flash it back, do it again. It's really, really powerful, obviously, with cards like Monastery Swiftspear and Electrostatic Infantry. You can kind of just build up your cards really, really big very, very quickly and just deal lots of damage. And you can also save this card up where you can just use the front side, and then later on you can use the flashback side when you're starting to run out a little bit of gas. We also have Ancestral Anger, which is just a phenomenal card that ends up buffing our cards and dealing a ton of damage to our opponent if we end up getting multiples. It's 1 red for a sorcery. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until in a turn where X is 1 plus a number of cards named after this card in your graveyard. Draw a card. So the first one's +1, second one's +2, so on and so forth. It gets really, really out of control just because you can give trample to a card like an Illuminator Virtuoso and essentially beat your opponent down very, very quickly, and it replaces itself. So just a phenomenal card overall. One of the better like overall pump spells in the deck. Another really good pump spell on the deck that is actually more like a protection spell, actually. We have Lauren's Escape. So for a white, it's an instant. Target artifact or creature gains hexproof and indestructible until on a turn, and you get to scry 1. This card was really, really great for targeted removal, and on top of that, if there's board wipes where they're just trying to destroy all creatures, this card comes in handy quite a lot. Being able to give hexproof and indestructible is just really, really huge, and the scry bonus is great too. What I really like about this card, it's only 1 white mana, kind of like a very like God's Willing type of effect. Obviously, you're not given the card protection, so you're not able to kind of smash through for a ton of damage like in a turn, but being able to protect your cards during combat and potentially against a removal spell is just A+. We mentioned Virtuoso and Electrostatic Infantry in our 2-drop slots here. So we have Illuminator Virtuoso, colorless and a white for a 1/1 with double strike. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this card, you get to connive. Connive is you get to draw a card and then discard a card. If you discard a non-land card, you actually get to put a +1/+1 counter on the creature that connives. So Illuminator Virtuoso can get out of hand very quickly with cards like Homestead Courage, Ancestral Anger, giving it trample. You can essentially kind of just like kill your opponent in one big swing with it. We also have 4 Electrostatic Infantry, some more creatures here. Colorless and a red for a 1/2 trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, gets a +1/+1 counter. Just a nice little cheap threat for 2 mana that kind of just keeps growing as you keep pumping it or just casting some of your protection cards if need be. and it just smashes through with that trample. So just a really, really great card from Dominaria United. We're also running Baird, 1 red, 1 white for a 2/2 to the beginning of your end step. If you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Just a one of, kind of just helps go a little bit wide and just give you some more creatures in play, which is never a bad thing in this deck, considering that sometimes you can run out of gas by just playing your creatures really quick, but Baird kind of gives you a little bit of reach by just going wide and potentially setting up a turn where you can just like pump up your cards and deal a lot of damage. Speaking of pumping up your cards, we actually have one of Take Up the Shield here. Colorless and a white. It gives a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, and then that creature gains life, taken, and indestructible until end of turn. It's an instant, so it can help protect your cards during combat or against targeted removal spells that are destroy effects, board wipes that are destroy effects, anything like that. But overall, just a really, really phenomenal card. We also do have our last pump support here in the deck. It's going to be Angel Fire Ignition. So for a colorless, red, and a white, you get to put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Haste until end of turn, and then you can flash it back for 2 colorless, red and white. Super solid card. The original version of this deck was actually made by Frank Carson. He played 2 of these in like a one of pump spell. I can't really remember the name of it right now, but I decided to just go 3 Angel Fire Ignitions, and I definitely didn't regret it. It was just a really phenomenal card all the time, just being able to give something 2 counters, and then having the Allenbach back to give it indestructible is just really, really phenomenal. Rounding out our deck, we do have a removal spell, interactive spell here with 3 Kami Flare. And on top of that, it's really good, especially if your cards get counters from like the Kumanos, the Homestead, Angel Fire. Essentially, it's a colorless and a red. It deals 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. And then it deals 2 damage to that permanent's control if you have a modified creature. So really, really strong card here overall. For special lands, we have one of a Ganjo, essentially dealing 4 damage when attacking or blocking a creature for 3 mana and discarding it. And then we also have Sekenzan, which can give you 2 1/1 spirit colorless tokens that have haste. And both of these cost 1 less for each legendary creature you have, which if you have like a Baird out, you're going to get a little bit of discount on these lands. Also have the 4 Battlefield Forge from the latest set here. Brothers War that we are playing the release event for. Just a really phenomenal card. The whole cycle is being finished in this set, and Battlefield Forge is another great card that helps us deck quite a bit. We have 3 Sundown Pass, which you're going to find a little bit interesting. A lot of the reason is because we don't want to just have too many comes into play tap lands in the beginning of the game, and just having this down on turn 3 is already sweet. If you need to play it on turn 1, then you can just play it on turn 1 and then, kind of keep progressing your game plan forward. But overall, just playing 3 of these kind of just makes a lot of sense. And rounding out the lands, we have a Thran Portal, which essentially gives you any color that you need whenever you need it in the early game to kind of help stabilize and essentially give you an additional like Sundown Pass or Battlefield Forge type of effect. Even if it does cost you a little bit of life here and there, it is still a really good card in this deck. Overall, I had a blast playing this deck. I think this actually can be a really strong contender. Previously in Standard, before rotation, there was more like an aggressive mid-range type of Boros deck that played a bit of some different cards that were more like mid-hunt type cards, and like Bloodthirsty Adversary, things like that. But this version is definitely built around Illuminator Virtuoso and a lot of these, Prowess, Swiss Spear, Electrostatic Infantry type cards. You can definitely tell, there were already decks that Illuminator Virtue was really fantastic in. And I actually think that with the printing of Monastery Swiss Spear and the last set that we had with Infantry, I actually think that there's a lot of room for this deck to kind of just grow. And there could end up being some cards that we're not playing in this version that could pop up that could maybe help push it over the top. But overall, I think this is going to be a phenomenal deck for the ladder and for any of the tournaments that we actually host and just tournaments in general. So let's go ahead and jump into the games and see how we do. See if we can go off with it. Make like some pretty big creatures. I feel like it's definitely like potentially a real deck. There's like other stuff I think you can add to it. I almost want to play like an aggressive Jin deck though, Yeah, let's keep this. We have Kumanos into Infantry into Angel Fire. It's pretty good. That is definitely a good start here. Okay. I don't think that they have a 1-mana counterspell for a creature, right? Yeah. Might have a bounce spell for us, but we do have 2 creatures next turn. If they just play a creature... Angel Fire still looks pretty good, especially if we just do it on the Kumanos. Have 2 different threats. Allenbach is nice. Maybe we just play that first and then try to go for like some redraws. Okay. So let's see, we can pump this. This still gets a counter. That way we still have kind of like a variety of threats here. Okay, redraw, it's just land. Could do this. Maybe we just want to save it for a bigger turn. Just attack with both of these. Come in for some damage. Some damage. Get them down to 13 and pass it back. 3, 4. Still have a lot of things to do. Okay, so they're kind of like the same deck, actually. Alright, so we hit an infantry. Angel Fire gives haste, right? But we can't do that yet. We can do both of these. Alright, I think we just do this. Pump this up all the way. Smash in with both. That way we can also like protect this card with the escort. And next turn we have at least 1 cheaper pump spell. Play a spell that targets only a single creature other than this card. You may copy it. And it targets this card. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. They're at 2. This has trample. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. This is just the win right here. We don't need to get like fancy or anything with either of our spells. We kind of just go super wide. They were mana screwed though too.
This video was brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Yeah, like this hand's a little bit loose because we only have 1 creature, but like our spells are all pretty good, right? We have like double protection plus a Kami Flare. Ooh, and we have an infantry. Ooh, they're potentially a removal deck though. I think I'm just gonna attack and pass it back. I don't think I'm gonna get risky. No risky business here. They're not even gonna do anything yet. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully no board wipe type effect next turn. Coming in with some cards, dealing some damage. Okay, mending. Oh boy. We might be seeing a reanimator strategy. This is pretty much like the type of deck that we're going to be trying to build later. We're going to be trying to reanimate whatever it's called. I can't remember what the blue enchantment's called. Something of the multiverse. Let's go to Mythic Spoiler here, actually. Yeah, one with the multiverse. Alright, Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, sure. That seems pretty good. Cancel. We want the card with Trample to be bigger permanently. Yeah, we're gonna lose some life over it, but It is what it is. We'll get to deal them 7 here. Put them down to 8, and we have a protection spell plus the Kumanos that we want to save for the Prowess on the Swift Spear on the following turn. So we just hit another land. That's fine. Let's go with Kumanos first. Homestead on the infantry. Just make it ridiculously big. And come in for damage. They have a grasp. Alright, we'll try to protect it. Do they have a second removal spell? Ooh, second grasp. They go down to 4. And then we just hit them with the Swiss Spear. That was pretty wild, actually. Man, that was a pretty absurd game. It's Joe. Yeah, we can keep this hand. Let's go. This is pretty awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh, that was a really good draw. It could kill one of our cards, which would be unfortunate. Okay, we're good now. Now I'm feeling pretty solid. Kill this. Target spell. Yeah, we're coming in. Could get rid of another Virtuoso. I'm just gonna get rid of the land. We have another land on top. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. Alright. So we have a lot of creatures down. He gets this down. Maybe we didn't need the land, but it does help in case we want to just, like, out-connive them. Keep this in case we have to connive the mountain. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good too. We have both of these. This is Lifelink Menace. Yep, coming in with the squad. Target the Virtuoso, get a redraw over here. Destructible. Nah, let's just do this. Yeah, just gonna pass back. Still want to protect our cards with the Lauren's Escape. He's got 4 cards left, which is quite a lot. Double black? Okay. This didn't hit a removal spell. Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book stores got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below, and on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too, so get in on it. Hope to see you. Yeah, this is good. I think this hand's fine. He's probably like, damn it, Hollywood always plays red decks. We're up against Rep Solo. Ooh, it does hurt a little bit because we have to take a damage. He's playing black. I think I'd rather just hold up my cards here. I like playing it a little bit safer. Okay, Blood Tithe Harvester. I'm actually just going to kill this now, so that way I have all my mana available. We got pretty lucky on drawing the planes there. Honestly. That was like exactly what we wanted, with just like a white land. Even if it was another Battlefield Forge, I would have been fine with it. Having a protection spell here is really nice, just in case they do try to go for like a tap out kill spell. Let's see if they do. Sequence 2. Okay. Just going in, not really doing too much here. They might be doing some busted stuff. I mean, they ramped out pretty hard here. They could be playing the Serpent right now. The Serpent would be pretty good. They could double black, double blue. I guess that's like it, though. They would take a point of damage for it. Go down to 12. We would have to discard a card. We discard a mountain. They would redraw, and then we have this to kind of push through the Serpent itself. Okay, Energy Refractor. Gonna get a redraw. Kind of interesting to see what they have here. They're making a blue. Okay. For another Power Stone. I see why now. Okay. I kind of want to do this to make sure that we hit a card. Yeah, that's fine. I just think we want spells. We can maybe kill them next turn. Do this at 6. That's also going to get pumped up. Ooh, Kumano's is pretty good there. Alright, let's get them down to 6. All we have right now is a protection spell. They ramped out really hard. They have like a crazy card right now. 1,000 Suns or Space Wolves. What is that? Also, don't forget to check out HelloFresh. You get 70% off of your first box if you use my code in the chat. It's also going to be in the description as well. So definitely check it out. And they're going down to 5. Alright, what do they got for us here? That's 6, 7, 8. They could play the enchantment. Okay, so they did have the Serpent. Alright. Interesting. So they draw 2 cards. Do they have another card to play, is the question. Okay, that can't block, though. Interesting. Create a 1/1 token. Yeah, we're swinging in. I mean, we're the aggressive deck here. Discard the Kumanos. We'll trade with it. They take 2. We get a 1/1. This is not going to save it, though. So either way, we trade here. We don't need to discard a good card. Ooh, I like that, though. That's really good. And we can play this. Plus the Kumanos. Kumanos all in. Sure, we have a Kumanos here if they board wipe. And we'll get a 1/1. We have a pump spell. And we got a lot going on right now. Like, I feel like this deck a lot of the time doesn't have much of a battlefield, but we do right now, so feels pretty good. Rival clans, nice. Alright, they got a blocker. I still think they have like another artifact card here that could potentially be dangerous. I think that they do. And we'll see what else we have in store for tonight. One lander, don't think we can keep it. We are on the play, which is nice. This hand's a lot better. I think we get rid of the Homestead Courage, so that way we can protect the Swift Spear. Angel Fire is really good. We can have one really explosive turn with this, but I'd rather have like a card that's like definitely guaranteed to do a lot. We only have one Sekenzan, right? Would we rather take the damage from the Swift Spear? It'd be a little bit risky, but if we do flood out, we have the Sekenzan. I'm okay taking a point of damage. We have a Plains we can play anyways. And we're gaining all of our life back. Allenbach plus the escape. Seems pretty good. I actually like playing the Forge now. Alright. A little bit worth taking the 1 point of damage. Just a little bit. Ooh, Circle Confinement. What are they going to target here? Probably the Swift Spear. Yeah, we'll protect it. I don't think I want to draw another one of these, though. Alright, Sundown. Well, let's just target this. It's nice and beefy. And we'll pass it back. Thank you so much for the follow, Fets Rancor. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful night, wonderful day, wherever you're at in the world. Okay, so do they just have like an exile spell or something maybe? Could play this into Ignition. Yeah, we'll pass it back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we draw a land, this is only 7. Still need 2 more points of damage. Homestead Courage is pretty good. Let's do it on this. Could have a Wandering Emperor now, though, which would be scary. They didn't have a response last turn. Welcome in. Hope you're doing great. Thanks, homie. Appreciate that. You're very welcome. Much love. This is gonna get big. Is Wandering Emperor here? I guess we should have held this, given this Vigilance as well, is where we messed up, maybe. Yeah, maybe we needed to give this Vigilance to kind of play around it. Could make a blocker. I think we just come in with this. I'm still just going to play around it. I should have definitely given this Vigilance, though. Yeah, I get a feeling that they do have Wandering Emperor. They're just not playing it right now. Alright, yeah, I should have given this Vigilance. Even if we do, they would still end up with like a Samurai. Now they actually have two, though, which is a little bit annoying. Unless they want to get aggressive, but we can give our cards indestructible, and we potentially just have this out of the graveyard next turn, depending on what they end up doing here. Like, they kind of have to have a removal spell or some kind of like life gain, instant speed. Okay, they just have this. They're gonna get to kill the Swift Spear. Yep. They get to make another card here. Yeah, another token. And we just have that. That's pretty good. I mean, there's like no reason to attack with both. Yeah, I kind of have to keep this. We're gonna take a lot of damage, but like our hand is pretty nuts. We need to draw a white source in order to make this red. Alright, we got there. So we actually don't even, well, we do need to play this. 2 or fewer. Yeah, we need to play this next turn. So we'll do red. We have the Forge. Play both of these. Okay. That makes me feel like a little bit better about it, I guess. Alright, Kumanos. I guess we could have also played one of these first, but I really like just getting the Swift Spear down. Maybe that's just me. Ooh. Well, it ends up potentially being good because we have the infantry now getting more counters. No protection spell, though. Things could get rough here with no protections. Alright, let's get this out there. It's going to be a 3-4 for 2. And we'll pass it back. We get a couple of these. We have an Ancestral Anger. Okay, Might Stone, so infantry down. Goodbye, dear friend. We might take 2 here. Okay. I'm completely fine with that. We'll play this down so we have 2 white sources. We'll definitely just kill this now. We have an Ancestral Anger that'll redraw us a card, which is nice. Okay, we just hit a land, but I mean, we get him down to 7. Looking to draw any spell here would be pretty good, actually. Okay, Catilda's pretty decent. It's good ramp. They have quite a bit of mana, too. I mean, they can do a lot of things. Thram Portal doesn't get enough play. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Like, when you really need it, it's good, right? Like, I think we just keep all these cards in our hand and we just attack. We have them at 7. They have 2 cards left. We can give something indestructible and scry. Okay, they have Wandering Emperor. So they're probably going to target something. The Swiss Spear. Okay. Alright, so we get a scry here on the Lorenz Escape. I think I'll just keep the other Lorenz as well. And if they go down to 1, it's going to be kind of rough for them, I think. Alright, they're going to go down to 3. So they ended up blocking. Gets exiled. We just have lands. Is there anything that we really want, like, all the lands for? Your mono green combo deck. Now I'm intrigued. Now I'm definitely intrigued. Yeah, this deck does seem pretty crazy. I have definitely been enjoying it here for my first few games. I don't really want to, like, give away any information here to my opponent. Throwing us a good game. I don't have a spell. No spells here. I was wondering what you were playing. I was like, is he just like Golgari mid-range? Like, I wasn't sure. New 3-drop Lord. Interesting, okay. Yeah, I mean, we're swinging in here. Something's getting indestructible. And we're getting to scry. I think I would rather save this one. It pretty much just, like, doesn't really matter. I like that, that's fine. Oh yeah, that card seems really ridiculous, right? I think that card does seem pretty nuts. Yeah, I mean, I just have a land here. I have another land. They're at 3. We have a pump spell. Come on, blow up my Thran portal. Do me a favor. Come on. Just do it. You know you want to. You know you want to. Just do it. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, Chad, I am addicted to my cosmetics. I spent too much gold on the cosmetics, I will admit. Oh boy. Redraw. Give me a hasty threat, maybe? I don't know what we want here. Did they top deck the card of the century? Did they have the Wandering Emperor? Whew. I feel like we kind of got lucky they didn't top deck a Wandering Emperor, so... Alright, that was really awesome. As you can see, this deck can be super, super aggressive and beat down really, really quickly. I'm telling you, definitely expect to see this deck here. Once this set comes out in Standard, I really expect to see a Boros or potentially just any type of Prowess deck. With the Swiss Spears, the Infantries, Virtuoso is just so strong. I really think this deck's really, really powerful, and it actually has good matchups kind of like across the board. Specifically because you have protection spells against control, and against other aggressive decks, you can just really crush over with, you know, your trample cards, your double strike cards. Even Swiss Spear can kind of just get through with Angel Fire Ignitions, gaining you life in between as well. So I think there's a lot of powerful effects in this deck, and there's a lot of really good cards that we get with like the Lorenz Escape, the Swiss Spear, things like that. So overall, definitely a deck that I recommend. I know that I had a blast playing it. If you made it this far in the video, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell notification, like, leave a comment down below. Would be greatly appreciated. We do host 3 tournaments a month. All are free to play with cash prizes, including a Sandema tournament that's going to be this Sunday on November 13th. So definitely get in on that. You can find links in the description to that and all my content as well, including the deck list that we played today in the video. And I hope that you stay cheesy.